Farm Network.
The following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results, and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning, and welcome again to Saturday morning. Andy Brownell, along with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results, here at News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. And Robin, you're back from Vegas.
Thank goodness. Oh, I just have to tell you, there's very few places that I can honestly say I don't like going to, but Vegas is definitely one of them. I don't like it. We go there. I get why we go there. Sometimes the conference, I think on our 50th anniversary of RE/MAX, I think they had 10,000 in attendance. So there's very few places in the country where you can go and accommodate a crowd like that. This year was a fraction of that. I think it was like 4,000 people. But it's still a lot of people, and it's nice when you are going to conference that they can put you all in the same hotel so that when we're not in classes and we're meeting up for lunches and dinners, and it's just convenient. So that part I get. But as far as all the commotion and first of all, the time change, right? At 8 o'clock at night there, it's 10 o'clock and I'm ready for bed. And everybody's like, where should we go to dinner? And I'm like, dinner? My God. So that part's just hard on my system. And then all the smoke. It's just not my place, but I had a great time at the conference because I basically, get together with a group for breakfast and then go to the opening ceremony and then go to classes all day and then get together with a group for dinner. And then while everybody's getting ready to go out, I'm out of there. Actually, one night they did a train concert, which was really great. And then after that, one of the gals and I took a nice walk down the strip because she hadn't been there before. So we went and looked at the fountains in Bellagio, all that, the Vegas stuff.
Sure. Yeah, look at the stuff on the side of the strip. Don't go behind the building because it just looks like the most desolate place in the world if you look away from the lights. But
inside, oh my gosh, like in the casinos, it was really awesome because our team was on the stage a lot this year. We had those who went, Beth and Michael and Brett and Scott and I, everybody received awards for their production. And then Michael received an award because he's now met the criteria to be in the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, which is awesome. Wow. Yeah. And our team ranked number 35 in the country for all RE/MAX.
Wow, Robin, congratulations.
I am so proud of that because that's for a large team. Okay. So a large team means that you have at least 9 people. We have 9 full-time agents and then we have a half a dozen part-time agents. But some of these large teams have 50 plus agents that we're competing against. And many of the others that beat us are from the East Coast and the West Coast where the average sale price is double or triple of ours. So the fact that we made it in the top, we have always made the top 100 ever since I've been at RE/MAX, but it seems like we just keep creeping our way up towards the top of the list. And to be almost in the top third of that 100 makes me really excited. So I'm really proud of my team because, it's definitely a group effort. We all work hard and it's the numbers combined. So anyway.
Yeah, and you look at the size of our market compared to the markets that you're talking about. That is truly amazing.
Yeah, thank you. When I went to get it, I'm like, well, did I make the top 100? They're like, Robin, you're number 35. I'm like, what? I was shocked, but yeah, it was really awesome. So we had a lot to celebrate. It was really fun. And of course we had a nice dinner with our broker and he took out our entire team. And then I think there were 3 other agents that went from the Rochester office. And so they joined us. We invited them to join us. So it was really good. And I met with a lot of my friends from across the country. They did a really cool book this year called Coast to Coast. And I love it because even though I know where most agents work, I don't necessarily know where in the state. Like I know Michelle's from California, but now I know right where she is in San Diego, right? They have this book called Coast to Coast, and it's all agents that I know very personally up front close. Like I know how they would treat their clients. I know about their success stories. I know, I said know everything about them, right? And so in this book, I can open it up from state to state and see who I have where in each state. So when my clients are asking me, I don't have to rack my brain or call and say, do you cover this area? Linda, I know you're near Detroit. Do you, do this little zip code or whatever? So now we have this hard-covered book that they came out with called Coast to Coast. And I'm very happy and proud to be the RE/MAX agent for the Rochester market in that book. So they take the top agent in each market and, so it can be a referral source to other people. Yeah. So when people have people come into Rochester, they'll call me, which is great. I did this funny thing on ChatGPT because I see, it's like, how they have these crazes where people do these, like little satire things or they roast things. And now there's one going around where they basically roast cities. Have you seen it?
No, I have not.
Okay, so I have to quickly read to you what it said about Rochester, Minnesota, because you will. No, it's very cute, and you'll laugh out loud because I'm like, oh boy, this is pretty accurate. Of course, I can't find it. My God, it's heck to get old.
Murphy's Law.
And I'm going to be tired for a week. I can promise you that. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. While you're looking at that, did you get to go to the Sphere?
Oh, my God. I didn't tell you that. We went out early. We went Saturday night to go see the Eagles at the Sphere. And that was the most amazing concert that I have ever been to. I mean, it was really cool. Okay, I found this. So this is a little lighthearted thing that I did about Rochester. Rochester, Minnesota, the city that proudly answers the question, what if a hospital became a town? First of all, if you meet someone from Rochester, there's a 78% chance that they work at Mayo Clinic, a 12% chance that they used to work at Mayo Clinic, and a 10% chance that they're just waiting to have their badge activated. The entire city feels like it's on a group health plan. Downtown Rochester is so clean and orderly, it feels like it was sanitized hourly, because it probably was. You can't even jaywalk without feeling like you need to fill out some paperwork first. And the skyways. Oh, yes. Nothing says thriving Midwest nightlife like our intricate indoor tunnel system designed so that you never have to experience weather or people. The food scene, well, it's like the restaurants all agree. Let's keep it safe. Sodium levels are watching. Somewhere a spice rack is sealed in its original packaging. But to be fair, it's safe, it's polished, it's educated, and it has more PhDs per square block than most states. It's the only place where someone can insult you using medical terminology and you will thank them for their clarity. Rochester isn't wild, it isn't flashy, it's not chaotic, it's just clinically stable. And honestly, in this economy, that's kind of a flex. Isn't that cute?
The only thing I'd object to is the food part, because there are some really, really good restaurants.
We do have a lot of good restaurants now. I mean, it's come a long way.
It's come a long way. Yeah.
It's come a long way. But keep in mind that these are probably, they're probably looking at reviews from people who are coming from, big cities where they have Michelin star restaurants where they, but for us, like those of us who are Midwestern and we're not that fussy, right? Like I've gone to some of those restaurants and I'm like, this isn't my thing. I just like good food, real good food.
I went to a fancy place out in Washington, D.C. one time, and they served molted crab. It was possibly the worst thing I have ever tried to eat in my life. And this was 40 years ago, and I can still remember how bad it tasted.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, the food in Vegas, I will say that is one thing I will say about the Vegas is the food was great. We had a lot of good meals. But what I learned about real estate while I was in Vegas and while I was at conference is there's just so many exciting things coming at RE/MAX. So RE/MAX has really engulfed the idea of becoming the place to go for luxury real estate. And, that's not always the way the brand has been, not even in the communities that have big luxury markets. Like in California, Coldwell Banker is huge for luxury. And then, of course, at some point, Sotheby's and some of these other boutique markets came. And although we don't have, none of those kind of places have any presence in our market. I mean, there is a Sotheby's, but I'm saying it's not like the overwhelming. And Coldwell Banker definitely doesn't have a overwhelming presence in any kind of a, what am I trying to say? Luxury market. Yeah. But what RE/MAX is doing is all these, because what it's all about is the lifestyles, right? Lifestyles. So they're doing all these lifestyle certifications and like golf lifestyle. It seems silly, but like there are people who move from place to place based on, where they can live on which golf course and which gated community. Like those, like lifestyle is really what it's all about. And so our new president at RE/MAX is Chris Lim, and he's only been with the company for a year, and he came to us from Christie's auction house. So he has a very good understanding about the world of luxury. And he is just diving right in. So there's just some really cool marketing things that's really going to set us apart. I mean, Rochester, RE/MAX Results has been here for 12 years. RE/MAX of Rochester prior to that. So RE/MAX has been around a while, but RE/MAX Results has, I think, 33% of the market share. So that means like 1 in 3 transactions that happens in and around our city is done by a RE/MAX agent on one end or the other. So it just got me really excited. I mean, I've been excited about the brand ever since the day I came, but every time you go to conference, it's just like a recharge, right? And then they roll out new things and they roll out new software and new things to help us make our job easier, help us do things and help us deliver a better product to our clients, which I love. I have a marketing background, so all the new cool things that they're doing with marketing just really excites me. So that part made it all worth putting up with 4 days in Las Vegas. That and the Eagles concert.
And the Eagles concert. All right. We do have to take a break, Robin. Come back in just a moment with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results, here at News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.
Ready to roll.
To Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results, and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results on News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. And Robin, we're talking about Vegas and
all the good things.
Yeah, part of the reason I probably don't like it that much, I just don't have the stomach to gamble money. I mean, I like to play with some friends, play some, nickel, dime, quarter poker type thing, just for social aspects of it. But when out there and I'm seeing the amount of money, especially the younger people are throwing on the tables,
isn't it
almost
crazy?
Makes me sick to my stomach.
I had an agent that I work with who came walking in and he goes, I hit big at the poker table. I'm like, oh, really? How much? And I'm thinking, no, I guess, I'm not a big gambler, right? So I'm thinking he's going to say a couple $100, 17,000. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm thinking, well, that means there's somebody who lost 17,000.
Exactly. Because we're at the casino got their cut. Trust me.
So let me tell you, anybody who's listening, if you're even thinking about taking up gambling, instead save that money and gamble on a new house, because that is a gamble you're going to win at every time. I mean, that is such a great investment. And I tell you, they were giving us stats and showing us like how history repeats itself, right? We've talked a lot about this with like interest rates and, things are just really cyclical. And they showed us a graph of like, the real estate market from 2000 until 2009, up, and then boom, down, right? And then it rebuilt starting in like 2012, and it started up until, everything just happened after COVID and the interest rates went crazy and all, and then it went boom down. And now we're still at the down, but going back up, 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 up. So they're expecting things to be really good in the real estate market. Well, really good to who, right? Really good to sellers, really good to realtors, at least the good ones that are out there working hard. They told us there's going to be a whole bunch that leave the industry again, because this is not a profession that is for the weak at heart. I will tell you that. We take on a lot of stress. And, it is very stressful. You have buyers that they're making big decisions, right? And we have to be prepared to guide them. And that's the part that seriously fuels my fire. And that's the part that I absolutely love to do. But as the market starts to go up, so do the prices. And, when the interest rates go down, prices go up. And the interest rates now have been, for the second week in a row, below 6%.
Right.
So, this is good. And what we're going to find out is that we're going to keep seeing more buyers coming back in. As the buyers come in, then there's more multiple offers. We've had a few this past weekend. While I was in Vegas, we had a couple of buyers write offers on houses, and both of them got into a multiple offer situation. And I had one listing that sold, and it sold in multiple offers. And when I say multiple offers, each time it was just 2. It wasn't 6 or 7 or 10, but we're already competing against other offers. So that's what we're going to get to. So if you're ready to buy, don't wait, because it's only going to become more and more difficult.
And more and more expensive.
And as prices go up, and more expensive. That's exactly right.
Yeah, it's such, I'm sorry to use the term, it's such a no-brainer.
Right. And
if you just take a dispassionate look at the math, it works.
Well, especially if you're somebody that has to pay to live. If you have the option to stay at home and live in your parents' basement for free, go for it. If that's what you want to do. Seriously, that's what you want to do.
I'm pretty sure they don't like that arrangement.
I don't know, maybe. But if you're freeloading on a friend's couch, I don't know, if you're not paying to live, then maybe you're happy. But if you're paying to rent, oh my gosh, please, let's talk about what you could be doing with that money you're spending each month in the form of buying instead and starting to build some equity and build your wealth.
Yeah, honest to goodness, Robin, I had this conversation. This was a few months ago with a person, and they were telling me they were trying to rationalize why they're still renting. And their argument was, well, don't you understand that money that I could be paying towards the mortgage, I can invest in the stock market, in the returns in the stock market. If you do it, hopefully
successfully.
Their expectation was correct, right? I hope for them. But I said, but the piece you're missing out of this is
you don't live in the stock market.
Yeah, you're paying rent.
Yeah, exactly.
So whatever returns you're getting on the stock market have to be offset by that amount you're paying in rent, and that changes your return completely.
Yes, and this house is that investment, or as I sometimes term it, that bank account that you get to live in. So it provides your shelter and it builds your wealth at the same time. So it's funny because every time we hear a speaker on stage at these conferences, they say, if only I knew now, if only at age 30 I knew what I know now, I would have bought a house every year. I would have done, and it's like it's always easy to look back and see. So when my son got into the business, I think I've told you this before, I told him, you're single, you're successful, I want you to buy a property at very minimum every other year, buy a rental property. So he's invested with friends, he's invested with his sister. And, I said, just keep adding to your portfolio. And it is the safe, secure way to build wealth for sure.
And it is so much more stable than these other investments. You pointed out there have been ups and downs when these macroeconomic events happen like COVID, but
right.
The other investments also went down, and in many cases went down way worse.
Have you ever heard of a guy called the Bow Tie Economist?
No.
Okay, look him up. He has a podcast and he's a public speaker. He's pretty entertaining. I don't know if really there's not too many economists that are entertaining, but he is. And he always wears a bright colored bow tie. All right. And he just basically lays it out there. So he had a map and he was showing like which markets are not doing so great right now and which ones are booming. And of course, I'm sorry, I have something in my throat. All right. Anyway, the ones that are booming are, well, we're right in the middle of it. You know, the Midwest is booming. Yeah. And you and I have talked about this. Those states where everything just went off the hook when the interest rates were low, you know, that's all catching up with them. Yeah. So, you know, they were selling at 33 to 35% increase in value year over year. Well, come on now. That couldn't obviously withstand time. So now they've, you know, then they started to, in their words, lose value. Well, no, it's just that you overpaid before, right? So now things are more flat in their markets because it has to catch up.
Yeah, but as you pointed out last week when we were talking, some of those markets, San Diego and I think it was some of the Phoenix area, they're starting to creep up again.
They are, yep. Yeah. And I talked to some of my friends that do business in those areas, Michelle Warner, who is a top agent in San Diego, and Don Matheson, who is a top agent in Scottsdale, and they are both starting off with a really busy year, but after having pretty slow years last year. So I feel like if the ones that were slow last year are starting to pick up, we were busy last year. I think we're going to be I think it's going to be a really, really good year. So.
All right. Well, Robin, we do need to take another break. We'll come back in a moment. Chat some more with Robin Gwaltney. Gwaltney Group-RE results on News Talk 1340, KROC AM, and the 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM, and 96.
U.S. Kids and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340, KROC AM, and 96.9 FM.
It's Saturday morning with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE results. News Talk 1340, KROC AM, and 96.9 FM. It's that time of the morning, Robin, to ask you about listings.
Oh, we've got some new beauties. So I am excited to share. At 1808 Hillview Lane Southeast, we have a 3-bedroom, 1-bath with a 2-car garage. It was built in 1959, and it sits on 0.37, so a really nice sized city lot for $259,900.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
That's exciting. 3770 Manor Woods Drive, Northwest. I don't think either one of these are going to last very long. I actually showed this one yesterday, and I think I'll be writing an offer on it. But this one is 3770 Manor Woods Drive, and it has 4 beds and 2 baths. And it has a total of 1,778 square feet. It was built in 75, and that one's $365.
Right there, yeah.
And then we have a big, beautiful house out on Oak Meadow Lane Northwest, 6317. This one has 4 beds, 3 baths, and wait for it, a 6-car garage.
Aha.
It has, I know you love that. It has a 2-car, and then it has a separate 4-car garage shop. It's got a downstairs and an upstairs, really nice place. That one is just under 4,000 square feet. It was built in 1978. It sits on 2 acres. Very peaceful, serene setting out there. I don't know if you're familiar with that area, but it's a big cul-de-sac. So it's off of 18th. Off of, take 55th to West River Road.
Okay.
And so then you're on West River Road, and then you go right onto Oak Meadow Lane. Yeah.
Okay. I know.
And then it's at the end of the cul-de-sac back there. So it's just really quiet and peaceful.
It's a nice area, yes.
And all that for $769,900. So that is a beauty. So if somebody's been holding on to their interest rate and saying, okay, I know we're popping out of the seams here, but the rate's so great. Guys, the rates are below 6%, and you deserve to have a beautiful home that you can afford. So let it go. All right. We have Weatherhill Court, 1409 Weatherhill Court. This one's a 4-bed, 4-bath, 5-car garage, 5,000 square feet. This one is $1,300,000. It's a very unique 4-level home. It's a one of a kind. It's not a cookie cutter home at all. Has a lot of character and views that are just amazing. Just beautiful.
And by the square footage and the number of rooms, those are big rooms.
Yeah, they are. They really are. Lots of open spaces. Great house for entertaining. 203 10th Avenue Southeast out in Casson. This one is a 3-bed, 5-bath, and it has just under 2,000 square feet, 1,980 square feet with a 2-car attached garage, and it's $4,099. Now, this house, even though it was built in 2007, unfortunately, it had a house fire, and so they had to basically gut it down to the studs. So once you get inside, it's like a brand new house. They redid the wiring, they redid, everything. It's beautiful. Yeah. And it was the oven that started on fire. So that was unfortunate, but now it's a great deal for somebody.
That's for sure.
And we've got a big, beautiful townhome up in Panorama Circle. That's another little jewel of a neighborhood that if you don't know about it, like I showed that neighborhood to some people and they never even knew it existed and they've lived in Rochester for years. So that's a great place right off of Circle Drive, kind of up there. So it looks over the lake and looks over 2nd Street from up above. Do you know that spot?
No, I don't, but I think I do.
Okay, well, I'll take you sometime. It's beautiful. Anyway, this is 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, 3,500 square feet, and it is $675. So that's a nice option. I'll do one more because I think we're running out of time, but I've got a beautiful new listing at 4933 Riley Lane, Southwest. I'm super proud of this one. It's 6 bedrooms, 5 baths, a 3-car garage. It was built by Rymark in 2020, and these people have had it. They're the only owners, and they've kept it immaculate. And this is available just under 5,000 square feet, $1,150,000. And the backyard looks over a cornfield and has the most gorgeous sunset in Rochester. So there you go. I've got things from all prices, and there's plenty more where those came from. So seriously, if there's anything you have questions about, if you're, finishing up your residency or your fellowship and you're leaving Rochester and you're going somewhere, I can set you up with a very good real estate agent. If you would like to talk about buying instead of renting, anything we talked about today or any other day on the show, I always welcome phone calls. So please, anytime, give me a call on my cell phone.
And the number?
507-259-4926.
All right, Robin. Enjoy the rest of the weekend and the warmer weather that's coming our way next week.
It's Grumpy Old Men Days, so I'm going to go see if I can surround myself with grumpy old men. Okay, not really, but
go down to Slippery's.
Yeah, they have the bush light curling, so we're gonna go do that.
Oh gosh, only fun. Wabasha. You guys have more fun in Wabasha than any place else.
Agreed. All
right, thanks a lot, Robin. We'll talk to you next Saturday.
All right, bye.
Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results on News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.